Hey everyone, Mtashed here, and I wanted to do a bit of a follow-up video on my sniping nerf video because I think there may be workarounds that will allow sniping to actually be used in sweats if the community adopts it. In the current state of the game, unfortunately, sniping will be very, very hurt. I don't think there will be a lot of them in any sort of tournament or competitive setting unless these changes are made. So let's get into it. The reason I said that sniping is quote-unquote dead is because of the changes to flinch. With the changes to flinch, it's going to be much harder to snipe in competitive because people realize you're sniping them a lot quicker. If you're running around in 6v6, I'm sure you're going to catch a bunch of people off guard. But if you're sniping in 3v3 sweats or tournament lobbies, you're not going to get a bunch of free kills with your sniper rifle. People are going to be hitting you with their IS Luna or their Pulse or whatever gun they might be, causing you to flinch and making it extremely hard to shoot them. But that's not the biggest issue. We can deal with that as players, as snipers. We can adjust to this change. I don't think that is the killer, that's not the nail in the coffin. But the inability to shut down a super is a glaring issue and something that forces people to start moving away from sniper rifles because they just don't seem that effective. If an ionic blink stormcaller is pushing you through a doorway, blinking through, the chances of actually hitting him in the head are quite slim. It's very difficult to do. And you might say, I do it all the time, bitch! You should see me in Rumble and Trials of Osiris. It's not the same thing. If you go watch War Bulletproof play, or some of those top sweaty guys, even though they're some of the best snipers in the world, shutting down a Stormcaller or a Blade Dancer in those sweats isn't easy because they're so damn evasive. They're not going to push into you and give you a free headshot. That's why when you get those headshots, it feels very rewarding. It takes a lot of skill to snipe someone out of their super in those hyper-competitive lobbies. And I recognize that we shouldn't cater the game to that sweaty community. And that's fine. If you want to nerf sniper rifles for the general population, that's great. Maybe the game will feel a little bit more balanced for the majority. So we, as the people that want to compete and be these top 1% sweats, we need to adjust, and I think we can do it. From what people have been testing, if you're below 7 armor or so I think at 6 armor and below, most supers will die in one shot to a 1,000-yard stare or a longbow or any of those snipers. So, as a new tournament rule, we may need to adjust for that. We might need to switch so that everyone runs a lower armor build. For the most part, this won't change really anything because people aren't allowed to run max armor builds because it stopped Thorn from being a 3-shot and even IS Luna from being a headshot body. So as a community in the sweaty tournament competitive community, I think it's pretty damn easy for us to run builds that will allow snipers that are, comfortable using these 1,000-yard stares and these snipers that they've tried over and over again to get good rolls on, they can continue to use those snipers because this change to armor will allow us to snipe those supers in one shot and we don't have to get our asses rammed by roaming supers. That's why everyone is freaking out, saying that sniping is dead, because we unfortunately think that roaming supers are now going to be like the meta. Everyone's going to start complaining about Blade Dancer and Stormcaller because it's like, oh, I can't shut them down. They're too fucking strong. So, yeah, moving forward, if we do this change to armor, I think the competitive side is going to be happy. They're going to have, I guess, sniper rifles that actually work. And maybe in the more casual side, they've got a situation where they're having more fun because they're not getting sniped out of their supers and feel like it's a waste. I recognize, guys, that it might be really frustrating for the average Joe to get sniped out of his Stormcaller. It doesn't feel fun to him, It feels terrible to have this super that they've been building up all game. They go to use it and they instantly get shot out of it. I'm not arguing that that wasn't frustrating. My previous video, it was just saying that if we're going to move towards tournaments, we're going to move towards competitive Destiny in any sense, whether it's a couple tournaments a year or we only have 1 or 2 total and then the game dies. We need to at least have options for players to use the weapons they want and have a fair, balanced environment that hopefully has some variety. Watching esports where every single person is shotgunning would be pretty fucking boring. I think we can all agree on that. But moving on, that's pretty much it. That's all I really wanted to say. The sniper rifle change, while somewhat frustrating to someone like myself that snipes all the time, I do understand why some of the changes have been made, and I also see that there are some ways around it as long as the community accepts it. I'll have to send out some messages to some of the sweat players, the tournament people, things like that, to make sure that it's a change that is good and overall going to, balance the game. It's not going to break the game in any way. And if it works, then sweet. We're still going to see sniping. But if people don't adopt, then unfortunately, I still stand my ground. Sniping is in a place where it might not be picked because it might not be the best choice for competitive gaming. That's it for me. I'll see you soon, and I love your faces. Bye-bye.